Did Vaughn really tell you that Melly told him that he was two friends?
He ain't come out and say, like, we got into an argument. And so, you know, if you know, when people can say something without saying it.
The PC Gambino account asked him if he was okay, and his response was, I did that, and placed a smiley face emoji.
Like, they raid your crib and the surveillance footage of the is in your DVD player. They be like, oh, okay, thank you, brother. This can't be at your crib.
A source close to YNW Melly just leaked that he's guilty. During today's court hearing, the judge announced that YNW Melly will be tried alongside YNW Bortlen on September 10th.
Mr. Henry is going to remain set for trial September the 10th at 9 o'clock with Mr. Demons, pending whatever future motion that I may hear. I'm in another capital case right now. I have 4 hearing dates left available between now and September the 10th. I gave the parties those 4 dates, and I'm holding all of those dates and times open only for these 2 defendants. So anything that you need for, okay?
Yeah.
YNW Melly didn't take the news well at the start of Wednesday's hearing. Judge Martin told Bortlen's attorney, for now, Mr. Henry Melly will remain scheduled for trial on September 10th along with YNW Bortlen. This is possibly the worst case scenario for Melly, and here's why. Prosecutors are expected to pressure Bortlen into snitching. According to reports, a no communication order was filed, meaning Melly and Bortlen are now completely separated, no talking, no messages through lawyers. Nothing, and that's being done for one reason: to break them apart and get one to flip.
Issue here, and you can try them together. It is to the benefit of the state to try them together. Just more efficient. You don't have to do things again and again. Do it all at once, and also you get a better chance of having them incriminate each other during the trial. It benefits the defense to sever it. That way they can point the finger at each other and get away with it. So this is what's going on. But I don't think it should be automatically severed because the state is seeking a penalty for Melly, because it's only the penalty phase of the trial that would be different, not the guilt phase. The guilt phase is the same. They're both capital crimes. You're seeking the penalty on one, not the other, but that goes into the second part of the trial, the penalty phase, only if Melly is found guilty.
If Bortlen knows he didn't commit this serious crime, it's unlikely he'll just sit back and accept a life sentence. That's what makes it so likely he could end up pointing the finger at Melly. Prosecutors know this, and they have leverage over Bortlen, which means they can pressure him into testifying against Melly to save himself.
Melly's co-defendant YNW Bortlen was booked into a Miami jail Monday night and is being held behind bars on an out-of-county warrant. We just confirmed the warrant is out of Broward County for witness tampering. The warrant obtained by Law and Crime Network states as follows: on or about April 10, 2023, continuing through and including July 22, 2023, Cortland Henry, aka Bortlen, along with others, did unlawfully and knowingly engage in misleading conduct toward another person with the intent to cause or induce them to withhold testimony. The warrant continues the alleged witness had been summoned by the legal process to the jury trial of Jamel Dimmons, aka YNW Melly. The dates in the warrant are important. Jury selection for Melly started in mid-April, and a judge declared a mistrial on July 22nd, the same day the warrant claims Bortlen allegedly tampered with the witness.
It was then revealed that authorities had found some disturbing evidence during a recent raid at Y1's home, according to documents filed by the state in the Broward County Clerk's Office. Investigators discovered hand-drawn notes showing where specific jurors had been sitting during Melly's original trial, along with descriptions of what they looked like. This gave federal agents reason to believe that Bortlen may have been planning to retaliate, possibly to help Melly avoid a life sentence. The paperwork found in his home made it seem like he was getting ready to slide for YNW Melly.
To keep it real, this is sloppy. Bortlen, how the f you gonna have the notebook of the jurors in your house? Holy sh! Like, come the f on. It's like doing a and having the surveillance tape in your DVD player or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Like they raid your crib and the surveillance footage of the is in your DVD player. They be like, oh, okay, thank you, brother. This can't be at your crib.
However, it's important to understand that all of this happened before YNW's lawyers made a major move in court. During the trial, when prosecutors started presenting damaging evidence against Melly, making him look guilty Melly's own, lawyer stood up and basically shifted the blame onto Bortlen. Some even say he snitched on him right there.
Those were his lies. Cortland Henry shows up at Memorial Hospital, Miramar. You don't see him sitting there, but where you will see him sitting is in the driver's seat of a car with two bodies, car riddled with and when he shows up with a change of clothing, change of shirt, powder residue on his hands, evidencing that he had discharged a firearm. And he lies. He lies about where the incident occurred. He lies about how it occurred. And he lies about not having a phone. I think it was Miss Bradley herself who said, everybody has a phone in his pocket, not Cortland Henry.
This moment marked the end of the friendship between YNW Melly and YNW Bortlen. In court, Melly's lawyer revealed that Bortlen was the one who lied to the feds, had gunpowder residue on his hands, and was the last person seen with YNW Juvie and Hazer before they were killed. To back this up, they even brought in a forensic expert to explain the evidence in more detail, focusing on the residue found on Bortlen.
So the right hand of Cortland Henry contained 0 particles characteristic of hot residue and two component particles. And the left hand contained 1 particle characteristic of hot residue and 1 2-component particle.
Okay. And can you explain to us what that means?
Basically, overall, there was hot residue present on the hands.
YNW Bortlen didn't take this lightly after. Melly's mistrial was granted. The news reported that Bortlen posted a mysterious tweet the same day saying, "Mind games don't work on people like me," followed by a handshake emoji, almost like he was accepting some kind of deal. What many people didn't realize is that Melly and Bortlen had cut ties since that moment. So when the court later announced that Melly would be retried alongside Bortlen, Melly was visibly angry, even yelling at his own lawyers. According to reports, this hearing was the first time Melly publicly went against his legal team in open court.
Yes, sir.
Against our advice, our client wants to proceed.
You object to their request for me to determine this automatic stay.
Based upon what our client has instructed us, yes.
The evidence being argued in court now focuses on YNW Melly's alleged gang ties. Prosecutors are trying to use a Facebook photo of Melly with Young Thug as proof. They claim the photo shows that Melly is part of the same Red street gang that Young Thug is allegedly involved in.
Same thing, the use of the slap term, 5-point star, the snake. He's saying he's YSL, and he puts up his YNW for life hashtag on it with Mr. Devins has the big B hand signs displayed.
Okay, and these individuals again, I'm assuming that's also Young Thug. That's also unknown.
Yes.
Also important to your investigation, correct?
Yes.
Also publicly available for anyone to see and capture.
Somebody sitting inside of the courtroom overheard what Melly yelled at his lawyers, and he said, in quote, "I don't care, I'm not in no gang, they can't prove that."
I'm aware, 924-071. Call for an automatic stay while
they were aggravators. They go to membership in a gang. There are things that the jury would have to find before going into penalty.
Not aggravator, that's the death penalty. Aggravator, that's the gang enhancement itself, Your Honor. That was charged. He was charged in committing the murder for the furtherance of the gang, which is an aggravator in terms of the guilt.
Something that they would have to find by way of an interrogatory.
Yes.
There's a real reason why YNW Melly doesn't care if the gang-related evidence is included. If his lawyers succeed in getting that evidence thrown out, it would cause major delays according to reports. The paperwork and legal process would push the trial back to 2027, meaning Melly would end up sitting in jail for 9 years without ever being convicted.
I do find this case to be under the most compelling circumstances. Mr. Devins, as I sit here today, has been in custody for 2,339 days. Besides Mr. Devins' cases, which I've removed, this division currently has 38 other cases, special set for trial. 22 of those are cases. Numerous of those are death cases. And right now. This division has trial special set in December of 2026.
However, the state wants to bring in even more new evidence against YNW Melly. That's why they're also pushing for a delay to buy time and strengthen their case, hoping it will lead to Melly being sentenced to life in prison for good.
And finally, Judge, just so, again, the record's clear, given Judge Murphy's order, and there would be an intent to comply with it, what the court is compelling the state to do is to go forward with evidence that has been suppressed. In other words, we would not be able to use that evidence.
As of now, the attorneys could go to the appellant court and request that they issue a stay or place a hold on the trial, and that seems to be the only way that this trial does not move forward on the scheduled date. So if that doesn't happen, Melly trial number 2 will begin in about 2 months.
By having YNW Bortlen sitting next to YNW Melly during the trial, prosecutors hope to answer one key question. Let me explain. Investigators are looking for context about what happened just 5 hours after the murders. That's when prosecutors say. They found new evidence showing Melly on camera dancing in a parking lot with Bortlen shortly after the deaths of Juvie and Sackhazer. What Melly didn't realize at the time was that he was being filmed and the video is now being used against him in court.
Melly still turned regardless of what happened this early morning. He's still out here being very positive. Turned still. Hey! No, still turned, regardless of what happened. You already know.
In the video, Melly and Bortlen don't show any sadness over the deaths of their 2 closest friends. What's worse is that Melly was also caught on camera just 30 minutes before the crime, leaving the studio and getting into the back left seat of the Jeep, the exact spot where the shooting reportedly happened. He didn't know he was being filmed, and now that footage is being used as key evidence.
Excuse me, you're able to see? Yes? All right.
According to official court documents, the bullets traveled from left to right inside the car, which supports the claim that the shots came from the back left seat. The same spot where Melly was sitting. Even Juvie's mother took the stand and confirmed Melly was in that seat, but if YNW Bortlen confirms this, too, it could be the final piece that seals Melly's fate.
Can you state your name? Your full legal name for the jury?
I'm Leon Phillips.
Okay. And are you related to one of the kids in this case?
Yes, I am.
How so?
I'm his mother.
And who is that?
Christopher Thomas.
Ms. Phillips, did you see who entered into the occupants who entered into that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Do you recognize where your son entered that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Which seat, if you can identify for the jury?
He got in the back seat on the right-hand side.
Did you recognize the individual that got into the back seat on the left side, the rear driver's side?
Yes.
And who was that individual?
Janelle.
Since prosecutors planned to use all this evidence against YNW Melly, the judge decided not to allow any more delays. Instead, he ordered the trial to officially start in September after the news broke. Melly's mother reacted on Instagram, live clearly emotional about the situation.
Basically what happened today is the judge has said we are not delaying trial. We will be going to trial September 10th, even though there's things that's up with the 4th DCA that has been ruled to be suppressed and not able to be used in the upcoming trial. The judge is just upholding those orders. So therefore, all of the, basically what was up on appeal was all of that stuff, what they were using as an enhancer in order to get the death penalty qualified. The judge ordered all of that to be suppressed. So moving forward onto the new trial, the state will not be able to bring in that evidence.
At the end of the court hearing, Melly's mother shared that his lawyers had asked the judge to grant him bond until the trial starts in September. Unfortunately, the judge denied the request, news outlets reported. Melly's reaction, noting that he's now been in jail for 2,320 days. Without a guilty verdict, still, despite being denied bond, Melly may have scored a major win in court that could lead to his release in the coming weeks. Here's why. An FBI agent took to stand one who specializes in analyzing phone data, Melly's. Lawyers questioned him about the phone analysis from the time of the crime, which could open the door for new arguments in Melly's favor.
Based on the information, you can't really tell the court precisely which locations these phones are following in Kenya.
One of the limitations of cellular analysis is that you can only say a general area where the device would be at a given time.
All right, so even with the general analysis, all of the steps that we've gone through for about 4 or 5 hours, at the end of the day, you can never give an exact location.
True.
And could you tell if somebody was walking around a car with the phone? Would you be able to tell that?
No.
So it'd be your testimony that this phone, 9807, could be from here to here, correct?
Yes.
While the FBI agent shared some key details about Melly's phone, things got a lot more interesting when a DNA expert took the stand. His job was to analyze the DNA found on items at the crime scene, including things found inside the Jeep. This might be Melly's biggest win so far. According to a report, the DNA analyst confirmed that Melly's DNA was not found on several key items recovered from the scene, which could seriously help his defense.
So going to item number 22, the swab from the Gucci sandals. We're able to compare the profile from Mr. Demons as opposed to the profile developed from those sandals.
I did, and he was excluded.
The stain on the front of the t-shirt, item number 23. We're able to compare Mr. Demons' profile to that.
I did a comparison, and he was again excluded.
What about item number 24, the cutting of the stain of the rear of the t-shirt?
After comparisons were done, he was excluded.
Okay, then on item number 25, the swab of the stain from the Air Jordans.
Again, an exclusion.
Going on to item number 26, the swab from the yellow jacket.
An exclusion as well.
And in terms of the item number 27 and 28, the swabs of the Gatorade bottles. What were the results on that?
Those were both exclusions.
After Melly scored a major win in court, the judge decided to give him one final chance to get out on bond. But the prosecutors quickly pushed back, and what they did next shocked a lot of people. Some even said it shows how corrupt the Florida court system might be. They struck a deal with Melly's ex-girlfriend, Mariah Hamilton. Let me explain. Mariah had been hiding outside the U.S. since before Melly's first trial. She was supposed to testify against him, but never showed up. That made her a wanted fugitive, and eventually she was arrested.
This made her wanted by police, which resulted in her getting arrested.
Mariah Hamilton is spending her first day at the Broward County Jail. She has no arrest record until now. U.S. Border Patrol agents arrested her at Miami International Airport Monday after she arrived on an international flight. Court records show Hamilton was ordered to testify in Demons' first trial in 2023.
Mariah was struggling badly in jail and just wanted to come back to the U.S. to see her family, who she hadn't seen in years. But as soon as she returned, she was arrested immediately. While in jail, she said the conditions were awful, even the food wasn't edible. She was desperate to get out, so when she went to her first court hearing, the judge gave her a deal. If you testify against Melly and tell the truth, you're free to go. She agreed right away and was released within 20 minutes. On her way home, she posted on Facebook, "My village, thank you to my village. I love you all so much. God's plan, not mine." This is bad news for Melly, because federal agents found disturbing messages in Mariah's iCloud account suggesting Melly tried to pressure her not to testify. That's called witness tampering, and it carries a life sentence even if Melly didn't actually commit the murders of Sackhazer and Juvie.
Filing 6 new charges against Demons and 2 others who were allegedly involved. The charges include tampering with a witness, directing the activities of a criminal, solicitation or conspiracy to commit tampering, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Now, a couple of those charges actually carry a life in prison sentence if there's a conviction.
This means there's a real chance why Melly could be found not guilty in the case of Juvie and Sackchazer's deaths, but still end up in prison for life because of witness tampering. And the feds say they already have strong evidence against him. It was so serious that they even banned Melly from using the jail phone, which made his mom really upset.
My son has not been convicted of anything, and even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right to use a telephone. They have a right to just to be allowed to write letters to their loved ones, to receive their mail. They hold his mail, they don't give it to him.
If it's true that YNW Melly hasn't been allowed to use jail phones because of witness tampering, then the authorities must have real evidence to back it up. They wouldn't block him from phone access just on a guess that could lead to a huge lawsuit. But it gets worse. Prosecutors also filed paperwork asking to use Bortlen's police interrogation from the night of the crime, where he was caught lying to protect Melly.
Okay, tell me what happened.
Man, I was playing music. Getting off the exit. I was already getting sleepy, almost home. You know what I'm saying? And like, just out of nowhere, like, I just heard, you know what I'm saying? So, and I ducked down, you know what I'm saying, in the car.
Hey, well, Ashley,
and I almost crashed the car.
Let me back you up a few minutes. Where were you coming from?
I was coming from the studio, from Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale studio. Which way did you take?
I took I-75, 595 to
75. Then you took 75 south?
It was clear to the officers that YNW Bortlen's story didn't make sense. Even though he tried to stay confident, his explanation just wasn't believable, and eventually he got caught in a lie.
Here's the hard part, where we're having a hard time to understand, is that we shut down that entire area, and we had officers shoulder to shoulder walk it out. They didn't find as much as one shell casing. They didn't find one piece of glass. Nothing. Nothing to what you said adds up. And it's hard.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro, that's the class.
I mean, for whatever reason, your two friends, are these your good friends?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. These my like,
these your two, I'm assuming, close friends.
Yeah, we got.
And you're doing them an inservice by not telling us the truth.
I'm telling you the truth, sir. I don't like. How? What do you want?
How do you make shell casings disappear?
I don't know. How can I tell you about a shell case?
A police officer started getting frustrated with YNW Bortlen and directly asked him, "If you know who did this, would you tell me?"
By just telling me the truth, even if it's something that I don't want to hear. But I respect the truth rather than BS, okay? And it's a simple question. If you knew who did this, okay? You may or may not know. If you knew who did this, would you tell me? It's either a yes or no question. Answer.
Honestly.
Yeah, honestly. The truth. You wouldn't?
Because I wouldn't want to be a part of it. I wouldn't want to be.
YNW Bortlen didn't answer the officer with a clear yes or no. He just shook his head no. That's likely because if Melly really did it, Bortlen would obviously know. And if he said no out loud, his voice might have cracked or sounded different, exposing that he was lying. That's why he stayed quiet after that. Officers just asked him to explain what happened during the crime.
And I'm driving, ducking for my life, trying to make sure I don't get hit. And you telling me, you telling me about some shit. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make sure I don't get hit. I'm driving. I'm trying to make sure I don't get hit. You know what I'm saying? What I'm gonna be worried about? You know what I'm saying?
I know it's not for you to worry about.
Shit crazy, bro.
But if you tell me it happened there's gotta be some evidence there. There's gonna be broken glass, just like there's broken glass over here when you guys open the doors and stuff like that. Okay, there's gonna be broken glass over there when the windows got out. There's gonna be casings from the people at your car. Okay, there's gonna be evidence over there. Okay, right now, there's nothing. I kind of think I know what happened because I got information